Hi, this is Randy from Fried Eggs Golf, and welcome to yet another stupid experiment. Now, today's experiment, the idea for it was actually brought to me by one of you. One of the viewers out there asked me what would happen if we took petroleum jelly, whoosh, backwards, whoosh, and we applied it to a driver face. Now, the old story goes, if you take petroleum jelly and you apply it to a driver face, it's going to cause less friction, thus reducing spin, giving you straighter, longer drives, in theory. So what I've brought with me today is a Big Bertha Fusion driver, which is in a 10.5, and I did this purposely because I want the driver to spin too much. And that way, when we apply the petroleum jelly to the face, I should know fairly quickly if the spin has been reduced or not. So I have a GC2 launch monitor, Pro V1 practice balls, and the idea is to hit 3 shots with the clean face and 3 shots with the lubed face. Now, lubed? Seems dirty. What we're going to do is we're going to take the petroleum jelly and we're going to spread it across the face in a very thin coating. I don't want it clumped up. I don't want it too thick because I think that might reduce some of the ball speed and it could skew the numbers. So we're just going to do a nice clean coat across the face there just so it's slippery enough to hopefully create less spin, give us straighter drives, and help us cheat. After we hit 3 shots each way, we're going to look at my iPad, we're going to compare the numbers side by side and see if petroleum jelly on the driver face actually reduces spin, creating longer, straighter drives. Let's get to it.
Well, I know a guy who is straight off the tee. He's always in the fairway, in front of me. He don't use offsets anti-sliced tees. He don't use swing waves or any of these. He uses Vaseline. Vaseline.
So I'm all done hitting my shots. Let's take a look at the clean face driver first because that was the one I tested first. Ball speed average with the clean face driver, 154 miles an hour. Average launch angle, 15.5. Average backspin, 3,060. Average carry yards, 256. That's appropriate. For me, with a driver that has too much loft on it, I launched it a little high, I spun it a lot, and that was the idea. That was one of the reasons I grabbed the Big Bertha Fusion drivers, because it's a high MOI driver. It's very straight on its own accord, and I wanted the results to be skewed by the backspin, not the side spin. So I grabbed the driver that was straight, and you can see from the shot dispersion that it is a straight driver, but way too much backspin on there, which is totally killing my distance. Now, let's slide over to the lube face driver and see if we reduce that spin. Average ball speed with the lube face driver, 156 miles an hour. Average launch angle, 16.4. So it's actually, ball speed was up a little bit, launch angle was up a little bit. Average backspin, 647 RPMs. 647. You heard that right. That is scary low. That's too low. We don't want spin rates that low. And the reason being, look at the carry distance, 244 yards. I actually lost distance because there was not enough spin generated to get the ball through the proper shot window. The launch was okay, ball speed was okay, spin rate was too low, killed my distance. And I could actually see the ball in the air, almost like a knuckleball. It just kind of floated and it fell out of the sky very quickly. Now it was straight because there wasn't a lot of spin on it, but it just went where the club face was pointed and dropped straight down, and not a wise decision. I wouldn't play a driver that spun that low because it's almost uncontrollable, I guess. It's kind of a weird way to say it, but in the wind, spin is control, and if you don't have spin, you have no idea where the ball is going to go. Having said that, I could see where using a sparing amount of petroleum jelly across the driver face could give you better results. If you were spinning the driver, let's say 3,500, 4,000 RPMs, and you took something like this and smeared it across the face in a very small amount, I could see where it would generate less spin, giving you straighter, longer drives. So, that being said, be wary of any man with chapped lips. Of course, all this information is completely irrelevant because it's cheating. So this is a ridiculous experiment for a reason, and it's because, yeah, the information's cool, but unfortunately you can't apply this because it's not legal. But dialing in that appropriate launch angle, spin rate, and for your ball speed can give you increased distance on its own. You don't need chapstick, you don't need Vaseline to improve your golf game. What you need to do is just make sure that the driver you're playing is appropriate, and then get out there and practice, you lazy bum. I hope you guys enjoyed the experiment. Once again, if you have any comments or questions, put them down in the comment section below, because that's where this experiment came from, as someone wrote in, wanted to know, and I made it. So if you have any ideas, comments about this experiment, put them down there. I'd love to read them. In the meantime, subscribe to the channel, thumbs up the video, and I will see you next time. Ah!